There are some small-town police departments in our state vanishing, like last officer out the door, turn off the light. Last week, the final remaining officer in Nederland resigned. A month ago, all 3 members of the tiny Springfield Police Department down in southern Colorado, they all called it quits. Steve Stager's been looking into what is driving people away from policing in small towns. And Steve, you came up with a couple of answers here.
All sorts of different things. The head of the Colorado Association of Police Chiefs told me today that pay is a major problem in recruiting officers for an increasingly more difficult and more scrutinized job. Head of that association is Louisville Police Chief Dave Hayes. He says that he's talked with the Nederland Police Marshal a lot over the last few months, the same marshal who announced her resignation last week. One of the biggest issues there, he says, is pay. They can't pay Denver salaries, and thus people can't afford to live in an area that lacks housing. In Springfield, the mayor told me pay is a big issue, but recruitment is tough because Springfield is so remote and convincing people to work there is a challenge. I asked Chief Hayes, with all of the open jobs in larger police departments these days, why would someone want to consider a job in a small one?
I think it's a chance maybe to get into police work and to do some real community policing where you may be the only 1 or 2 people on duty, and that when you do get a call, absent a real serious call like a sex assault or a homicide, chances are that you're going to work that case from the beginning to the end.
Springfield's mayor told me that they are currently interviewing police chiefs, and they expect they should have someone hired in a few weeks. In the meantime, the Baca County Sheriff is helping there. Nederland has vowed to get its police department up and running, is working on an agreement with the Boulder County Sheriff in the meantime. As for solutions, Hayes says you got to offer more competitive benefits, like maybe a housing allotment. Pay for somebody's education if they send themselves through the police academy. He says that can cost upwards $10,000, $11,000. A lot of people are throwing it on a credit card. So maybe that you can kind of try to incentivize some police officers that way, but you have to do something to try to get some people in the door for what can be a really good experience in policing.
You know, it sounds like a lot of the challenges, certainly it's a difficult time to be in law enforcement with the social criticism that they're getting, but a lot of the challenges are the same thing that we hear in rural communities for all kinds of different jobs. But whereas, say, the hardware store might close or the grocery store might close, the idea of leaving an entire community without law enforcement, everybody perks up their ears and says, well, we can't have that.
It's difficult. And so Nederland and Springfield are 2 different stories here, because obviously in Nederland you have the Boulder County Sheriff's Office, which is a bit bigger. In Springfield, it's the Baca County Sheriff's Office, which is already itself a small department trying to manage an even bigger caseload with the town of Springfield on top of that now. So yeah, I mean, you can't just shut down a police department. Maybe it's paring back some of the things that police officers do. Hayes said accident investigation, minor accident investigation. Maybe that's something that police don't need to handle. Citizens could do.
Like in Denver, they've got those civilian investigation vans. One pulled up in front of my house and I thought I was in trouble. All right, thank you, Steve.